Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk,
Blasted.
intoxicated,
Rip. Plastered.
destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
With Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Oh, we'll have them for you. We don't have them yet. Not because, we're lazy or didn't go and find them, but as you get up this morning and you knew you'd come here, we'd have Masters running scores for you. There just aren't any. It's the opening drive. Good morning and happy Masters Thursday. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Glad you're with us on Thursday morning. It should be a busy one on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal. How you living?
Oh, what it do?
Do a lot, and it rains a lot, and that's the deal in Augusta. As I'm looking at the radar now, and the storms are rolling through, and they will play, or at least they say they will, but because of the weather, the Masters, which I don't know if you know this, is a tradition unlike any other, is now scheduled to begin at 8:30 our time. So the tee times will get pushed back, and some of your favorites will be going this afternoon. Some of them are going to barely get in 9 holes, I'm going to guess, because like that Dustin Johnson group, which is scheduled to go off at 4:30 Eastern time. That's Dustin Johnson and Colin Morikawa and Tommy Fleetwood. That's the last one out. And so the honorary starters, Jack Nicklaus, scary player, Tom Watson, they are set to hit their ceremonial tee shots, JJ, at 8:10 our time, and then the first group will go off. So we'll get you master stuff as we go, but I want to get into some of the stuff as we go through the morning that you put together because you got great notes on this, and I'm really looking forward to coming up at 8 o'clock, a master segment with Ann Liguori, who wrote a book recently called Life on the Green. She's covering her 26th Masters this year for WFAN in New York, but she interviewed 5 Masters champions and some of the greats, and I'm looking forward to her insight and from another perspective what makes this tournament so special.
What a conversation about the Masters, the history game from the Masters, on the opening round of the Masters.
Yeah.
What a great day.
Yeah, right about when they're hitting. I mean, so she's going to be talking to us instead of watching them hit the ceremonial opening shots. Hopefully she'll still be with us, as everything got moved around. But I'm looking forward to that. We got a lot to do today as well. Jerry Palm scheduled to be with us from CBS Sports. Coming up at 8:30 this morning, the Purdue alum who was courtside at the Final Four in Glendale, Arizona on Monday past as Connecticut beat Purdue in the championship game. So we'll wrap up our weekly conversations. This one bums me out always because I love having Jerry on the show. And then I know we kind of put this to bed until August. And we'll catch up with him, I guess, during the summer a little bit. But this one's always a bummer. And then 9 o'clock, former Rockies manager Clint Hurdle's in town. He's going to be out at maybe he can bring it. Well, obviously last night he didn't bring him any luck. They lost again. They gave up 13 runs last night. Did the Ice Dopes at a 13-10 loss to the Space Cowboys of Sugarland. They are 2-9, but he's always a good guy to talk to. Baseball guy, entertaining, and just knows his stuff. And so I want to get his thoughts not only on how the Rockies, who are 3-10, and the Ice Dopes, who are 2-9, turn things around. On the Shohei Ohtani stuff, which went down, on Dodgers, on just some of the stuff that's going on in baseball. So he's always a great guy to talk to.
Awesome interview. And I am really intrigued to Now, when you're in the game, as long as he's been in the game, what he's thinking when he sees Jackson Holiday, who was just this little kid running around Coors Field when he was managing Matt Holiday
that's a
and
great
the Colorado Rockies. And now all of a sudden, just like Clint Hurdle was a number 1 overall pick, Major League Baseball draft. Now to see another generation.
Yeah, a guy that he saw running around because he was managing his dad. Yeah.
Little kid running around. Now, made his Major League Baseball debut last night for the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. So that'll be 9 o'clock. So it's a full day. If you want to get in, now isn't a horrible time to do it. 8 o'clock and Liguori, 8:30 Jerry Palm, and 9 o'clock Clint Hurdle. A lot of places to start. We could have gone with the NBA and a big win by the Nuggets last night. A really, really big win by the Nuggets last night in regards to trying to secure the number 1 overall seed. Nikola Jokic 41-11 as they beat the Timberwolves 116-107. And what that meant for them is they are now 1 game clear of both Oklahoma City and Minnesota for the number 1 spot. What does that mean? Number 1 spot, that's home court advantage to the Western Conference playoffs. They'll close out with road games at San Antonio and Memphis, and if they win them both, they are the number 1 seed. And it was a big game last night. Karl Anthony Towns did not play for Minnesota, but it was a game where I never really felt it was a doubt. And the Nuggets look to me as we head towards the playoff that they are clicking, that they are ready to go and ready to go defend.
So Nikola Jokic just put up 41 points on what is one of the players that's always been the defensive player of the year conversation.
Rudy Gobert.
And he had Rudy Gobert on skates, just a brilliant performance. What I appreciate about Denver, they're not scared. Everyone is saying, you know what, might not be bad to be number 2. Be the 2 seed. Because then you don't have to play the Lakers or Warriors potentially in the first round. Why would you want that? Maybe go play the Kings or
you're gonna though.
Or Pelicans.
Yeah.
The Nuggets aren't scared. Like, they want to be the number 1 seed. They'll go into that first round against whoever it may be. And there's going to be a Hall of Famer on the other side.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, guess what? We got a 2-time NBA MVP. We're NBA champions. Oh, we got a Hall of Famer ourselves leading the way.
I was so impressed about Jokic last night. If you just look at his line, 41-11. He was 16-20 from the field, which is 2 3-pointers. He made them both. He's so efficient. He's so good. He's so smooth, and he's in just in prime time right now. He's something else, and I agree with you on that. That they're not afraid. Other stuff in the Western Conference that meant a lot yesterday. Phoenix was a winner against the Clippers, 124-108. So the Suns are trying to get out of that play-in tournament, half game behind New Orleans, and they've got 2 to play, and New Orleans has 3 left to play. New Orleans still has to play Sacramento, Golden State, and the Lakers. It's a tough run for them coming down the stretch, while the Suns, who, again, have just 2 games left to play, will play at Sacramento and at Minnesota. That's also tough. So nothing's solved yet there. The Bucks came back and won again yesterday. They win in Orlando, 117-99 without Giannis Antetokounmpo. And the Mavericks yesterday on the road beat the Heat and handled them. And the score doesn't really tell the story, 111-92, although that's, 11 and 9 is 20 points, 19 points. And you had another really good performance by Luka Doncic last night. He had 29 and 9 and 9. And the Mavericks are, man, they're, to me, in the West. I know the Clippers can.
It's Dallas.
Dude, right? And that 4-5 matchup, which looks like it's going to be the Clippers and Dallas in the first round, it's an insane first round matchup.
Now the Clippers have held the advantage.
Yeah.
But this is a Mavericks team that now is clicking full season. Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, the offense is unbelievable right now. And Luka Doncic is the second most dangerous player on a basketball court.
After Nikola Jokic. Yeah, he's something else, and what he does from everywhere. And I don't think people realize when you watch him and you see how he handles the basketball and how good he is at every aspect. I don't know that people realize that Luka Doncic he's listed at 6'7". There's no way, right? He's closer to how tall is Luka Doncic? There's no way he's only 6'7". You think that's all he is?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I thought he was like 6'9", 6'10". All right. He did it again last night. All right, so we got a bunch of NBA going on as we come down to the final stretch today, and so kind of every day now you're watching scores because all of a sudden everything really, really matters. Today you're going to get Sacramento, New Orleans, which matters a lot. The Warriors are in Portland, and you'll be watching the West and how it plays out, and we're coming down the stretch. All right, 505-246-0610 is the phone number to get in. It's also the Sports Animal text line. You can send emails, Jeff@sportsanimалabq.com and JJ@sportsanimалabq.com. When we come back, watching it on the Facebook, and I'm staring at it. Adrian's producing on Provia Networks, Comcast Channel 26 throughout the state of New Mexico. We are on, and you can watch us at the OD in the AM. When we come back, Shohei Ohtani's now former interpreter is facing federal charges, and they're about ready to put this thing to bed. Said, "Yep, nothing to see here. Shohei was ripped off, and move on." And I don't think everybody's just going to move on. There's certainly questions. But what the investigation has revealed, it was a pretty quick investigation, 3 weeks, and how it gets there, and certainly some questions. Certainly some questions on how we got to where we are, but it sure appears they're ready to tell you, nope, Shohei knew nothing about it. He just got ripped off, and that's all there is to it. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
When you have
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres.
They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain. Who's that? That's your new buddy in jail.
I'm going out, Grandma.
When are you coming home?
I'll be home late. Don't wait up, okay?
Be careful, mijito.
Love you, Grandma.
Mijito. He's a good man. Sometimes he just makes bad decisions. I tell him, mijito, cuidado. Be careful. You might hurt someone. He doesn't listen.
Until you stop, okay? Hello.
It's me.
Hi, mijo. Where are you?
Dale is drinking and driving. I need you to come and get me, okay? Please, Grandma? Can you just come and get me? Grandma?
Leave him in jail.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. I can show that you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView.
Well, it was Chris Carter, the great NFL wide receiver turned commentator, who said it, JJ, right? He was talking to rookies, I believe, at a rookie symposium years ago. And his words of wisdom, his pearl was, you got to have a fall guy, right? Somebody who's willing to take the fall. He's going to roll with you. He's going to, he'll be in your entourage or whatever. And he'll reap all the benefits of your fame. But if something goes down, you got to have a fall guy who's ready to take the hit, right? Kind of his pearl of wisdom.
Yes, it was.
And as silly as it is, and he's probably right. Now, I don't know if Ipe is Ohtani's fall guy or if, in fact, it's true. But it looks like the report's going to come out today. And the New York Times is telling you that Ipe Mizuhara is negotiating a plea deal in connection with the contention that he stole millions of dollars from Shohei Ohtani to cover his betting debts. The plea, per this report, could confirm Ohtani's claim that he had no knowledge of those bets that were being made with his money. But either way, the investigation reportedly is, quote, the New York Times, rapidly nearing a conclusion, end quote. So there's a lot of ways to look at this. And I'll look at it initially on face value. And I don't know where you are. And I'm not sure I'm totally on face value. But basically, face value is, in his first pair of interviews, when Mizuhara said he had massed huge betting debts and Ohtani helped him out. Now it was Ohtani didn't know about this. JJ Ipe evidently had his passwords and changed the settings on his accounts to turn off any of the alerts when you transfer money. Look, I transferred a few bucks the other day from one account to another of mine. And I had to go through, double authentication, right? And just to transfer money that was mine from one account in the bank to it was another institution. But there were a few steps. So Ipe evidently turned off those alerts. So are you ready to just accept, look, man, Ipe was probably more than just an interpreter. He was probably Shohei Ohtani's assistant, right? And had access to his accounts and pilfered $500,000 here, $500,000 there, and Ohtani never knew about it. It is plausible.
It's plausible. I'm not buying it. I think this is the best friend you'd ever have in your life, which is keeping Shohei Ohtani away from suspension, away from any potential punishments from the feds, anything like that about transferring money to an illegal bookmaker in the state of California, he has fallen on the sword, because that is a whole heck of a lot of money moving for me to think Shohei was just that oblivious.
It's really hard, right? So I've thought about the relationship and what it is. And I kind of think, okay, if I was in Japan and I did not know the language nor the culture, and I had somebody who was an interpreter for me, that person would become much more than an interpreter, right? That person would become the person who orders in a restaurant for me, right? Who helps me as I check out at a hotel. Who, yeah, probably helps me with my banking. Now, here's where I fall a little short on the banking. I don't care what your institution is. This is 2024. I don't know if he's a Bank of America, Chase, wherever. You can go in right now and change your settings on language. You can bank in Japanese. It doesn't have to be in English. Now, maybe it is that he just didn't want to be bothered with, I got so much money. Hey, will you go pay my bills? Here's my password. Pay my mortgage, pay my bills, pay yourself.
That's not a crazy.
It's not. No, it's not, right? And so it's not crazy to think that Ippei had absolute access to his accounts, and Shohei probably trusted him so. I mean, this is where I can almost get myself there.
And I'm thinking back to that first interview that Ippei did, because that was when he came out, and said that, hey, Shohei kind of help me out, pay these debts. Did he think that initially that would help him?
Or is that the truth?
Get out of trouble somehow? Like we just covered gambling debts. We were scared. We weren't sure what was going on.
To try to make himself look like a victim somehow.
Then realized really quickly that, well, that could get Shohei in trouble, because they flipped the script from that initial interview.
Right. And so, in fact, is that the case? So, sources are telling ESPN that the allegation from Ohtani, that, quote, when he said, I'm very sad and shocked that someone who I've trusted has done this. Evidently, the investigation has proven that to be true. This being done by the California attorney, Michael Friedman, is representing Mizuhara. He didn't comment. But to your point on that initial ESPN interview that Mizuhara did, yeah, that's what he said. He said, Ohtani knew, I got in too deep, I went to him, and he bailed me out. Well,
I guess one of the things, too, is if he was using Ohtani's account, how do you prove if it was him or Ohtani?
I don't know that you can. I don't know that you can. Somebody, it is not unplausible. In fact, I can get myself to absolutely believe that Ippei Mizuhara had Ohtani's everything, right? I mean, he had his everything. He knew how to get into his house. He probably had, if there's a safe, he had the combo to the safe. He had all of his passwords. He probably handled his social media in some respect. I mean, he was more than a and again, I put myself in that position. Put yourself in a foreign land, and you're totally reliant on that person, right? If you don't speak the language. Now, over time, is it on Shohei? He's been here 4 years or whatever it's been to start to learn the language? Sure, and I'm sure there's plenty that he does understand. Like you could see when he was in that press conference, when the interpreter was talking in English, you could see him shaking his head, and he knew exactly when the interpreter was done. So he understands enough. But if you're in a foreign country, and again, I keep going back to this, If I had an interpreter and I was that dude and I have that much money, yeah, he probably would. Hey, here's my account, pay my bills, take care of this, pay my cell phone, whatever it is, right? Well, isn't everything on auto pay? I don't know how they had it. It's not unplausible to get there, but I'm hooked up where you are, dude. That's where I am. It is the first, because usually the first part, the first one's the truth, is what Mizuhara said the first time, Ippei Mizuhara, that I got in deep and went to Shohei and he bailed me out and that was my buddy. That's not implausible either.
Yeah, I tend to believe that there was a factor in that, and then they realized that this could end everything Shohei Ohtani has worked for, his superstar status, get him suspended by Major League Baseball. And then there was the quick pivot to it was all stolen. Shohei's a victim. Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
And if he is using Shohei's accounts and he's just transferring money, like I don't know how I guess you track it to a specific phone. But if you're changing money online, how do you say it's Shohei or someone else if they're using that account?
Again, I mean, I'll give you a totally believable scenario. Right? They're at Anaheim Stadium, and it's the bottom of the fourth inning, and the Angels are in the outfield. Or Shohei's pitching. And Ippei says, yeah, I got to dip into the locker room for a second. I got to go use the restroom. And he finds Shohei's phone and gets into it and sends it. I mean, don't you think he had the password to his phone?
It's not crazy.
Yeah.
It's not.
I mean, all of it. And this is real now. So Mizuhara is under investigation by the IRS, the Department of Homeland Security, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Central District of California. They ain't playing, man. The same agencies are investigating this guy named Matthew Boyer. He's the bookmaker that Mizuhara paid. And there's evidently this sprawling money laundering and illegal gambling case going on in Vegas. Like this is deeper. And the bookmaker's probably going, damn, dude, I just want to get my money. Now you brought the IRS crawling up my backside, right? He's like, I'm just running my business here, legal business. And that's how it is. And this is, JJ, I don't know what to believe. I'm struggling just believing what they want to feed me. Does that make sense? I'm struggling just saying, yeah, here you go. You had nothing to do with it. Move on. Why did dude, and I'll never know when you have that kind of money. Like, how often do you check your bank account? Like I don't know about you, but I check mine fairly regularly. I'm in my finances fairly regularly, right? I got a kid going to college. I got bills to pay. I mean, I don't have that much money, right? Dude, when you have that much money, do you just figure everything's cool and just not check it? And again, you can check it in Japanese. You can check it in your native language.
It seems like there was an incredible level of trust between those two. They're hanging out in the dugout. They were laughing
all the time
in the opening series.
Yeah.
Just this season. Like when that story was about to break, Shohei and his interpreter were in the dugout laughing, Dodgers playing the Padres. And you could absolutely see someone say, hey, handle the day-to-day stuff. I don't want to pay my rent this month.
You deal with my mortgage, and you deal with my phone, and you deal with my accountant, and you deal. Yeah. Just take care of it, right? And here's what here's yours, and I don't know, man. I mean, part of it you say, okay, that should be on auto pay. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But to me, it's not. But it just doesn't feel right. It's just not sitting for me. That I'm just supposed to eat whatever they tell me, and he had nothing to do with it, because I firmly, well, not firmly, I'm leaning towards the original answer that Shohei got it. I'm sorry, that Ippei got in too deep, and Shohei helped out his buddy. Because obviously, to your point, there was a whole lot of trust one way. It's not hard for, and I don't want to generalize a culture, but the Japanese culture is very giving, very trusting. I hate generalizing, but it's not hard for me to believe that there was such a trust. And Shohei says, man, you've done so much for me. Yeah, I'll bail you out this time. It's just not that hard to believe. And I kind of lean towards that first story. And if that in fact is the case, does it make it any different? I mean, are you going after Shohei if he gave his buddy $4.5 million to pay off illegal gambling debts? Did Shohei do something wrong? Then you want to know where the bets went and how much he knew.
Well, how quickly the story changed. Yeah, I think there's Shohei get in trouble by paying illegal bookmakers.
Yeah, that's kind of where I think it is. And I'd love your thoughts, because this thing went really quick. It was 3 weeks, and okay, boom, we got the answers. Nothing to see here. Let's move on. And our biggest moneymaker in baseball is going to go back to playing baseball. And all right, that's it. Close the book and move on. When we come back, a promotion at Lobo basketball, and a guy who's been key in putting it all together is getting a little bit of a reward. What that means, who it is, and why. That is coming up next. Hey, during this springtime and tax season, by the way, tax day is Monday. Hopefully you're getting a refund. So what do you do with it? I got an idea for at least part of it, and that's On the Spot Automotive Detailing. On the Spot Automotive Detailing will detail your car wherever and whenever it is convenient for you. That means they come to you. That means you don't take your vehicle to them and wait around and try to get a ride. No, they come to your office or they come to the house or wherever it is. And whilst you are doing what you're doing while you're working in your office, they're out in the parking lot detailing your car. When they're done, it looks and feels and smells brand new. They were awarded best in the city because they know what it takes when it comes to professional detailing and cleaning for your vehicle. When you're done, when they're done, it's like it's brand new. Top it off. They've got window tinting. That'll prep you for this intense summer heat that's coming quickly. Book today. It's all right there online. You can book and buy online at otsdetailing.com. That is otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Yesterday, Isaac Chu has been promoted to associate head coach for Louisville men's basketball. Going into his 4th year on this coaching staff, he's been assistant over the past 3 seasons. Guy that came right at the beginning with Richard Pitino. Pitino credits with helping guide the Lobos' improvement every year in being in on the majority of the recruitment. And the quote from Richard Pitino, Isaac Chu has been here with me since day one, has been instrumental in the rebuild. We would not be in this position without Isaac's hard work and dedication. He is a relentless recruiter and a terrific coach. He will be a head coach very soon, and we're fortunate that he's a Lobo. Feels like this was probably right, and it was well earned. 18th year in Division I basketball for him. He's been with 6 different programs: Murray State, and Missouri, and Marquette, and Texas A&M with New Mexico. And this feels like something that was right and earned and appreciated.
Yeah, what you hear, he is a very prominent member of that staff, and assistant coaches go a long way to being that bridge to the head coach. And when you read the stuff, actually what Jeff Grammer was saying yesterday about him, and you don't realize how important of a factor he has been to this team over the last 3 years. You can understand why Richard Pitino would give him that bit of a raise and a change in title.
Yeah. And as far as the portal goes, no news is really good news right now. Here we are on the 11th, and no news is good news in regards to Lobo basketball on the men's side. You haven't heard anything on signings on the women's side, have you?
No.
Okay.
I know people get antsy because you start seeing it come out, but you realize the tournament just ended. There are a lot of tournament teams that have players going into the portal, and there's over 1,000 players in the men's and women's transfer portal, and so you have some time to build your team.
All right, Matt is in on Shohei Ohtani. It says, I am supremely confident that he bailed his boy out. When it came out, I'm sure they freaked out. I'm sure they freaked that his entire baseball career could be in jeopardy. Simple solution: cook up the theft story. Ippei takes the fall, grateful for the bailout, and agrees to take whatever punishment comes with it, knowing it'll shield Ohtani's career and his millions. Maybe Shohei even sweeten the deal with another couple million if he has to serve time. Where do I sign up? That's almost as easy as New Mexico State getting guys. New Mexico State guys getting $4 million each for getting. All right. Sign me up twice. You talk about the hazing situation. Pardon me for not reading it the way you wrote it. So what he's saying is, and I don't think this is way out there. You're my fall guy, dude. I know you're look. You're gonna have to probably go do some time. I just bailed your ass out for $4.5 million. Here's another $1 million or $2 million for when you get out, but go do your time. And baseball is happy about this because they get to keep their cash cow. Because Shohei is the biggest thing they got going in baseball right now, and they can make him not only continue to let him play baseball, make him look sympathetic by saying, "Oh, dude got ripped off. He got taken advantage of." Shohei goes, does his time. I mean, how much time does Shohei get? I have no idea what this crime carries. If what he's being charged with. It's theft. So what?
Yeah, but it would also come with a Major League Baseball suspension. You'd have to.
For Ippei.
I thought you just said if Shohei was charged with something.
No. What does Ippei get? Like how much time does Ippei get? Is he going to get 2 years? Probably do 8 months. I don't know. So he goes and does the time. He walks out there with a few $1 million, and he's got to go live his life. All right. I don't know. But Matt's theory, although he wants to sign up for it and go do time and get millions of dollars, and maybe call the Dodgers and see if they're looking for an interpreter if you speak Japanese. It's not implausible. He says, I'm supremely confident that's the way it is. I don't know if I'm supremely confident, but I'm just having a problem eating what they're feeding. That's all.
If I had to pick, all right, which way I'd go with the story for the next chapter, that'd be the way I'd go. Which Shohei bailed his buddy out, and they're like, oh, this is actually really bad and could cost Shohei so much, and did the 180, found your fall guy, and everyone in Major League Baseball was like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Took advantage of Shohei.
It's horrible.
It's terrible.
Oh.
Can't believe this.
Yeah. Yep.
Here we go.
Text line says, why did the troubled baseball player merely give his friend, the bettor, the $4 million, rather than pay it to a bookie? Sincerely, the creative, avoiding accounting type. Well, that's kind of what we're saying here. I mean, it gave it to his buddy to pay off the bookie, but it came through his account. So what he's saying, and what he's saying is, instead of running it through your account, here, dude, go. Here's the $4.5 million. Go run it through your own account.
And who knows at that point, you just give someone $4 million to do with it what you want.
Well, then all of a sudden,
and then
now
they
you're
go pay off debts.
Well,
and you're like,
just think of the red flags, dude. If $4.5 million started running through your account, I want start thinking about all the. I mean, everything's tracked now, right? Taxes and everything else. All of a sudden, $4 million shows up in your account. What? Just where'd that come from? You know, what are you doing? Well, first of all, you're taxed on it, right?
I think I'd have a problem if I went to the bank today.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, there's $4 million in my account. I'd just take this out right now, please.
Yeah. Can I have it in cash? Put it in 20s.
Where did this come from?
Yeah, put it large. Give me all 100s.
Don't look at the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. No, that's right. No, everything's good. I got a bonus. I mean, that's what they're like. All right, whatever. We'll just transfer the money. I got you covered. I'll just transfer it. I'll cover it for you. All right, you guys are in on isotopes as well. Gopher said you asked the softball question of the week, Jeff. You don't need a highfalutin guest to hit it out of the gym for you. How does Albuquerque's baseball team get things turned around? It all starts on D. They got to guard someone. You gave up another 13 runs last night. Did the isotopes.
It's a good thing Clint Hurdle can talk about a lot more.
Than D?
Than just the Albuquerque isotopes.
Yes, it is. Maurice said Sushan was ready to explode, Jeff. You could tell he was ready to wet his pants for the first time this season. No lead is ever safe at Albuquerque Sports Stadium, but a 10-0 deficit to the Space Cowboys was just too much to come all the way back from. It's from Maurice. He's listening to Josh Sushan every night. Yeah, pitching's got to get better. 2-9 is a rough start, boys and girls. Big Club's 3-10.
Already looking forward to the second half.
Big
Restart.
Club. The Big Club doesn't get a second half. They don't get a restart. The Rockies don't. Yeah, that's something they don't get.
All aboard the Topes second half bandwagon.
Yeah. When we come back, transfer portal hits New Mexico State football. Their leading running back. Spring practice is over, and he is in the portal. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by...
That contact will drive us some more runs. Like a 2-0. 3-0, good base running.
And popped up to the right side. Casaus looking underneath it. No, it's not Casaus. Figueroa Brito makes the play at the end.
That's upstairs, that's a ball. And on the wild pitch. And Cibola caught Rio Rancho sleeping.
One still. And ripped to right center, sliding after it. Savage is rounding second. They're coming home. It's Wyatt Tinker, and Kason Savage is going to test the arm. Kason Savage.
That one's hitting the air to center field, pretty deep, and gone. A 3-run homer for Zeta Olivera, and just like that, it's 4-0 Cougars.
Shot too short, and what a glove! As Talon Barasa gets on that one, and that will retire the side. First 1-2-3 inning of the day. Take a look at that man right there. He's a bad, bad man.
That might drop. And that is it. Tyler Wright scores, and number 11, Jacob Sagato, knocks in the game-winning run.
Next up to the plate will be Damon McCree. McCree pops this one into right center. This one could drop down too. Kaysen Savage on the line, and Kaysen Savage has Adriel. He's got him. Kaysen Savage, what a gun from center field. Pounded out to left field. It's got the wind. It's going. It's gone. Tanner Collins tans that one to left. And brings Tanner Collins to the plate. Collins smashes that one, the hammer, against the wall, and that's 2. Tanner Collins says, hey, I can do it without the wind. Tanner Collins, a 2-home run day. He's pushed across 3. And he's got his team back within 1.
Man, shot to right field. And it's gone. Man, outstanding hit by Aiden Marquez. Marquez with the 1-run home run will bring Martinez in. Outstanding hit to right field. And just like that, how appropriate. That is just beautiful.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called.
The text line says, Star Thomas says adios to New Mexico State football. Aggie fan trying hard on social media to spin is no biggie, but he was their leading rusher. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. Star Thomas, second team All-Conference USA and was the leading rusher. Is announced he is transferring. The portal for football will open up on Monday going through the end of the month. The spring practice ended, and I should probably reach out to Tony Sanchez and see how that went down for New Mexico State, maybe get him on tomorrow. But it ended Saturday. They played their spring game at New Mexico State. They after practice, after they went through spring, Bryce Childress, who had 11 receptions for them last year, announced he's leaving. Eli Stowers has left. They've lost a lot of guys. So coaching change happened, and I understand you promoted a guy within. Without coaching changes, things happen. I don't know what Lobo fans gloating about on the text line. I believe you lost your leading rusher to the transfer portal as well, a guy who was second team all conference as well, right? I'm pretty sure that's how that went down. But yeah, that's the reality at the portal. Giveth, taketh. I saw where he's from Kansas, and I think he had a visit to Kansas State. But JJ, that's just how it is, man. And we talked about it so much yesterday in regards to basketball. Football is going to be the same way. And you see it right after the season, the regular season ends, as the portal opens during bowl season. And then this is the other time the portal's open is going to be next week for the next 2 weeks. And you're going to see a lot of guys jump in.
Yeah, there's really the only way to describe it is this is the new normal.
Yeah. And I think it's a bummer for New Mexico State. Now, they've got running backs in that room. Jamani Jones will still be there. Monte Watkins is still there. I think they have McKeelan Young is going to be there. They've got, like, if there was depth on that team, it's probably at running back. But he was their battering ram. He was their short yardage guy. He was their second team all-conference guy. I thought Star Thomas was really good for them last year.
Yeah, he's your leading running back. Your leading rusher was Diego Pavia. Star Thomas was your go-to running back.
Yeah. All right. Actually, he's from Louisiana, but I want to say I saw it on his social media that he had a visit to Kansas State. So we'll see. I don't even know that he can have a visit to Kansas State. Maybe that was previously. But yeah, that's how that goes. It's interesting after spring practice ends, and the Lobos are going to have spring practice end here in a few weeks, and it'll be interesting to see who they lose, because I promise somebody will. They're going to lose guys. You lost, 6 guys already that announced they're going in during spring practice. It's just, again, I don't know that anybody likes it, and I know you sure as hell don't. But that's just going to be the way it is, and you're going to go in the portal, and you're going to find guys that you're going to replace with. But that's it. I don't think they know who their quarterback is, JJ. I think that's the big issue down there. Is right now, they got a transfer from Kentucky, but Eli Stowers left, Diego Pavia left. I think that's really the big issue right now is who's going to play quarterback for them at New Mexico State. They open up at home I think it's Southeast Missouri State on August 30th, if I'm not mistaken. It's August 31st. Southeast Missouri State is who they'll open up with. All right, 505-246-0610 is how to get here. 888-922-0610 if you still pay a toll. The Masters is not underway yet. I know many of you are going to be watching that today. 8:30 is when they're scheduled now to start. Here in about 18 minutes, Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player and those guys will hit the ceremonial first shot. Do you have a favorite sleeper this week? Is it like a guy like Sam Burns? Do you have a guy that's not, the Schefflers, the Rahms, the McIlroys? Do you have a guy that you really like?
When it comes to the Masters, how big of a name can you go? Because I think it's time for Tony Finau.
Okay. I mean, you've been saying that for a while, as long as I've been saying Xander, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can see that. The Masters is so intriguing to so many people. Only 2 golfers have top 10 finishes in the last 2 Masters. And you would say, come on now, man. I'm sure Koepka did and Scheffler did and Rahm. No. Only 2 golfers have finished top 10 in the last 2. And that's Scheffler and Colin Morikawa. And it just shows how much this field turns over. What do you got on 1? I'll hit it. Okay. Sorry. Brooks Koepka, runner-up last year's. Second runner-up at the Masters. And he hasn't won there yet. But, boy, he plays well there. His career scoring average of 71.46 trails only. And this is really impressive. And so Koepka's a guy to watch, man. Trails only Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Jon Rahm, and Jordan Spieth in Masters history. And Jordan Spieth put up some crazy numbers when he won. Larry, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Larry.
Hey, good morning, fellas. Thanks for taking my call. I always say a UNLV alum from New Mexico calling in, and I try to give a little bit of love when I can to our local athletes. I've called in a few times about Nicole and Shelby Penley from Rio Rancho going on to Oklahoma to win national championships in ladies fast pitch softball.
Yep.
Wanted to do it again this morning, and I thought you'd have an interest in this. Very close personal friend of ours, and she's actually still my daughter's tutor. She's a 2-time powerlifting state champion from Rio Rancho.
Love it.
Nikki Vallejos.
Yeah.
Competed this morning in Atlanta. We logged on this morning about 6:15 to watch her at the National Powerlifting Championship. And it was just awesome to watch a 2-time state champion from Rio Rancho at the national championship. So just wanted to give a little shout out, a little bit of love to two-time state champion from Rio Rancho, Nicky Vallejo's powerlifting at the national show this morning.
Love it. No, thanks for that, and congratulations to her, man. Thanks for the call, Larry. That's good, man. Can't be everywhere. You don't know everything. And when I hear local stories and local people doing well on a national level, I love it and welcome it. I think that's really cool. And I do kind of have a little soft spot for powerlifting. The child was in the gym yesterday, dude.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot more doing game notes and prepping for games. I'm seeing a lot more people that have powerlifted in high school.
Really?
On the women's side, girls. Like looking through and I doing my game notes, and I always like to sprinkle in what they did in high school, and I'm seeing a lot more participated in powerlifting.
So
that's really fun.
It's relatively new at the girls level, and I think, and I could be mistaken, and so the girls' state is tomorrow, and the boys' state is Saturday out in Rio Rancho. But I believe the NMAA is only the second year they're recognizing girls powerlifting. I think I could be wrong, but I think that's right. Child was in the gym yesterday. It's over. Like, her season's over. And she's like, Dad, I like lifting. And I'm like, well, you might go to college somewhere really cold. You're going to spend time in the gym. It's going to be indoors. But she enjoyed it. When we come back, I'm actually really looking forward to this. We're going to go out to the Masters. Anne Ligori just wrote a book. It's called Life on the Green. She's covering her 26 Masters. We'll get you a sense. There's no scores to give you yet, but get you a sense and who might be those runners, those people that are running up that maybe you don't expect. What about the favorites? What about the history? We're going to the Masters, and it's next on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports App.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Dwight Goodman! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom. Boom!
What's going on?
Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain.
Who's that?
That's your new buddy in jail.
I'm going out, Grandma.
When are you coming home?
I'll be home late. Don't wait up, okay?
Be careful, mijito.
Love you, Grandma.
Mijito. He's a good man. Sometimes he just makes bad decisions. I tell him, mijito, cuidado. Be careful. You might hurt someone. He doesn't listen.
Until you stop, okay?
Hello. It's me.
Hi, mijo. Where are you?
Dale is drinking and driving. I need you to come and get me, okay? Please, Grandma?
Can you just come and get me?
Leave him in jail.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. I can show that you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the minutes. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
It's the OD in the AM with three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, they're getting set. Tom Watson's hitting some practice shots. Scary player. The guys who are going to hit the ceremonial first ball, they're on the green right now, JJ. They've got those guys on the green warming up as the start of the Masters has been delayed by weather. They are set to hit the ceremonial first shots coming up here in about 9 minutes. And then the first groups are ready to go at 8:30 as it has been delayed in Augusta, Georgia. As you might or might not know, it is a tradition unlike any other. Good morning to you. It is the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. The first round was delayed and is delayed. Inclement weather. It looks like, as you look at the pictures coming out of there now, that things are clearing up and they're going to get ready to go here in a little bit. Who do you like? Who's going to win? Your favorite is Scotty Scheffler, and there's guys that are right there to push him, whether it's Rory or Xander. Golf's become kind of a one-name sport in some respects, huh? For some guys. I mean, whether it's Tiger, Rory, Scotty, Sergio, right? There's the guys with the you've kind of gone there. We're looking forward to going out to Augusta here in a minute, and we'll catch up with Ann Liguori, who just wrote a book called Life on the Green. And she talked to so many of the former greats. And it's one of those books where you kind of look at it and say, okay, that one I would love to read. I'd love to hear their stories. Who do you like this week? Who do you have as you put your team together? Who do you like going in? Everybody's on Scheffler, and I guess that's the favorite. And people love Scotty Scheffler. People are loving Xander. They've loved Xander for a long time. At some point, Xander's going to close. At some point, the Olympic gold medalist, who is statistically been the best player in the world so far in 2024, and it's really not even that close. And he's had success in the majors. He's got 3 top 10s and 4 top 20s in his last 5 starts at Augusta. So even if he doesn't close, he's probably going to be at the top. But do you pick him to win? Does he finally get through? He's 14-1. What about Brooksy? Brooksy is 16-1. I don't even know, and this is where those of you who've not been following Live, you don't know where he is, right? It's big odds, and a barely better odds than like just Joaquin Niemann or Ludwig Aberg. But Koepka's a killer in the majors, isn't he? 8 trips to Augusta. He's played here 8 times. He's got 3 top 7 finishes, and they've all been in his last 4 starts. So wouldn't you kind of look at Koepka and say it's kind of foolish to not look at his recent history and think he's going to be right there again? It feels like it's almost true for Koepka more than anybody else. But do you like Koepka? The 4th pick by the odds makers is Jordan Spieth at 25-1. Now, is he on there because he is a former champion or because he's playing well? He's played not well, in fact. He's been great at this venue, but he hasn't played well. This year, not incredibly poorly, but in the past at Augusta, he should finish, if you look at it at his history, he should finish in the top 10 this year with a chance to win. He's at 25-1. Who do you got? Are you on all the favorites? Is it Rahm? Is it Spieth? Is it Koepka? Xander? I know you like Finau a lot. Rory. I'm trying to look for, where's Tony Finau's odds? I'll find them for you. Because since he's not in the top 10, I guess that would be your guy going off the board a little bit, huh?
Yeah, the Scheffler's insane right now.
Is it 4-1?
What he's sitting at. Some of the best Masters odds we've seen since Tiger Woods in 2013. It kind of shows the level that he's at right now.
Scheffler's at 4-1. If you're looking for a sleeper, Cameron Young might be a good bet for you. I'm trying to find the whole field of odds and go through everybody instead of just like guys picking their favorites. I'll bet Ann, and I know you were trying to get a hold of her. I'll bet she's out because of the delay watching the first.
No, we cannot
stroke.
dial out.
Oh,
So
we can't dial out.
All our guests today to call us.
Is that right? All right, are we able to do that? Obviously not with Ann, huh?
So that's not happening.
All right, we should send her a note and say, yeah, sorry. Well, that sucks. I'll get a note out to Jerry. I'm looking down the line. Are there guys who are playing well? Are there guys that you're going to say, all right? Because I didn't put a team together. I didn't have time to go out and get it done. But boy, the odds are short on Scheffler. People are down on Rory. Rory's been playing pretty well. Do you think?
Yeah, I think Rory's in a really good spot, and he'll be in contention on Sunday. I think that a lot of it, when you look at Brooks Koepka, is just the dude rises to the occasion. And he plays his best golf on the biggest stages in golf. And right now, that's the Masters. That's still the major tournaments, even for the LIV golfers. The biggest stages for them are going to be here. And what's going to be interesting, too, is to see LIV players like Joaquin Niemann,
DeChambeau,
Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah.
How they're feeling, how they're coming in to this week, and if they can make it to the weekend.
Your guy, Finau is plus 4,500. So that's 45-1. If you like that. It depends where you look at it. The number 2 bet is Rory at plus 1,000. Then Rahm at plus 1,100 and Xander at plus 1,400. So that's like 14-1. And then Koepka's the number 5 pick. People love Ludwig Aberg. Joaquin Niemann's getting a lot of love. Cantlay is sneaky to me at plus 4,000. I like Cantlay. I always like Cantlay. Will Zalatoris played really well last year. I like Will Zalatoris. If you're asking me just to throw a few together here, I should just go on and throw together a DraftKings team, shouldn't I, during the next break? We can see if I can do that. As I go down the list, who else do I like? You like Sungjae Im, huh?
Yeah, Im is kind of checks some of the categories you're looking at for someone that could be successful at the Masters. A lot of it is the big names, if you kind of piece it down. I was reading one story from CBS Sports, and they were kind of going through and they were breaking down, using, if you've played this many events, is this your first time event, Xing things out, and got down to who they thought could actually win the Masters this year. And one of the names that popped up on the list when they were just using all the criteria to filter this name, that name out, Sergio Garcia popped up on their list. That's just wild to me.
A's plus 15,000. If you want to go deep, I'll go deep. I'll throw you a name for a top 15 finish at plus 17,000. Give me Ricky Fowler. Ricky played really well last year, and throw that one at me. All right, let's do this. 505-246-0610. So obviously I was so looking forward to talking to her too. And I'll send Jerry a text and see if he can call us at 8:30. But we're planning on Jerry Palm at 8:30. See if we can get Clint Hurdle to call us at 9 o'clock. And apologize that our phones aren't working properly. Is that why the phone's just been ringing and nobody's been there?
Yeah, so you can still call us and get your opinions in.
Okay. At 505-246-0610. You can do that. Our phones are working if you want to come in. When we come back, I want to get into this a little bit. They're about ready to hit the opening shots. We are almost underway at the Masters. Who do you like? Who's your sneaky pick this week of the Masters? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
The 2024 Masters Tournament is officially underway. They just hit the ceremonial first balls at Augusta National. Gary Player went first. JJ, he said, not so easy to put it in the ground anymore. Nicholas came up, went to put his tee in the ground. He says, this is the hard part. Both of them went down. And the hard part is just getting down and putting the spike in the dirt. But they're underway. The first group will go at 8:30. Eric Van Rooyen and Jake Knapp. Jake Knapp's kind of been a great story. The young man out of Orange County who won his first tournament this year, who is actually 16th right now, ranked kid out of UCLA, playing in his first Masters. And then you'll go down the list. You'll get some of the names. Gary Wood. Did you see the story on Gary Woodland yesterday? He was out. JJ, I was watching the par 3 tournament yesterday, and he was out there with his wife and kids. He had brain surgery about 9 months ago. They cracked him open. He had a lesion on his brain. And he basically wrote these notes to his family that they never had to open because he didn't know if he was going to live. They had to go in, and he's got a big zipper on the side of his head. And they went in, and they had and here he is 9 months later, he's playing the Masters. That story was, I didn't know the story. It was bonkers to me.
I think many people knew the story.
Yeah.
Until this week.
And watching his wife talk about it. 9:18, Bryson DeChambeau will go. You'll get Sergio at 9:42. These are all our times. Tony Finau is playing with Phil Mickelson and Sepp Straka. And Sepp Straka is my other guy, my other long shot. If I had to fill out the back end of a DraftKings team, I like Sepp Straka, and I like Ricky for the price he's at. But it's 10:06, Mickelson, Finau, and Straka. Ricky Fowler goes with Patrick Cantlay and Minwoo Lee at 10:36. Right after them is Justin Thomason, Hideki Matsuyama, and Will Zalatoris. This is the group, dude. How about the 11-12 group? Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele. 11:20.
All in.
You're like, when's Tiger Woods? Y'all go. We got Bubba's playing with Alex Schenk going at 106. Where is Tiger Woods, y'all? There he is. 154. Tiger Woods, Jason Day, Max Homa, and the group right after them will be Brooks Koepka's group, and the group right after that will be Jordan Spieth's group. So a lot of the group, they'll go late in the day. Tiger's going to have the quick turnaround and probably have to get up early in the morning and finish his round tomorrow morning. Because if you say, what I tell you, 154 is 354 there, they're going to probably run out of daylight, huh? So he's probably going to have to get up in the morning, finish the round, then turn around and go again. So it's underway, and I'll get you scores as they come in. And really, really apologize about not having Ann Liguori. Were we able to send her a note and say, hey, sorry, our phones didn't work?
Yes.
All right. Jerry's going to call us at 8:30. You good with that? So we'll have Jerry Palm coming in here in a few minutes. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. This just came down. This is one of those where, what? I guess it didn't just come down. Remember Nate Robinson? Played college basketball at Washington, former NBA dunk champion, short guy. He has renal failure. He basically needs a kidney transplant to live. He said he might not have long to live if he can't get a kidney replacement. And he said he's been dealing with it for about 6 years. This is in an interview with the Daily Mail. Quote from Nate Robinson, I know that I don't have long. I know I'm not going to have long to live, so I just want to make the best of it as much as I can. That was his quote. He opened up about the renal failure back in 2022, when he said that he'd been dealing with it privately for years, but he was ready to be the voice for others going through the same thing. And then earlier this year, he was what they call the chief dunk officer for NBA All-Star Weekend. He talked about it a little bit more, and he's been using dialysis, which can, like anybody who's ever dealt with anybody who's been on dialysis understands there's a lot of side effects with this. But this is how about that mindset, man? I know I don't have long to live, and so I'm going to make the most of it. It's kind of crazy. This was a pretty good athlete. He was a pretty fun guy to watch. You remember him at all?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? If you're watched any basketball over the last 10 years,
yeah.
Nate Robinson in dunk contest versus Dwight Howard,
yeah,
having his moments.
Yes,
fun player.
Yeah, he said he's trying to live as normal as possible. He's trying to stay as human as I can. It's crazy to me. But I saw that and I'm like, wow, okay. The Rashee Rice thing it took a little bit of a turn yesterday. I don't think a surprise of a turn. Rashee Rice, the former SMU receiver who was currently a Kansas City Chief. He was the leading wide receiver for yardage for the champions this year. The arrest warrant was issued for him for his involvement in that vehicle accident, the Lamborghini and the Corvette that we saw last week. So there was an arrest warrant for him. He faces charges, 6 counts of collision involving bodily injury, 1 count of collision involving serious bodily injury, and a count of aggravated assault. The police spokesperson said that his Lamborghini went onto the shoulder, hit the center median, and it caused a chain reaction. And Rice released a statement. He apologized and said he wants to. He takes full responsibility for my part in the matter. This young man may be going to jail for a little. Like this, there's a lot of charges here. Now I don't know how they. I'm going to guess they don't play in Texas, but that's a lot of serious charges. And he's lucky no one died.
Well, here's the thing, Jeff.
Yeah, tell me.
Is the Dallas mayor serious about bringing the Kansas City Chiefs to town?
So
if he is,
this all plays. So they let this go?
He might help Patrick Mahomes out.
Mm.
And the Kansas City Chiefs let him off with like a plea deal, community service, get him out around Dallas.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. Rice's attorney basically said, look, man, quote, he's a young man that made a mistake. His heart goes out to those injured. Mr. Rice wants to make it certain that it is understood and appreciated that he is going to do everything in his power to bring that life back to as normal as possible in terms of injuries and in terms of property damage. He'll make certain that he is responsible for helping them get through that particular part of this. Don't get us wrong. We understand no one can ever bring back to a person who has been in an accident, help them get over the memories of being in that accident. That was the quote from the attorney. Okay. A young man made a mistake, dude. And I don't know if you've ever gone out and been next to a guy in a car and revved it up and said, let's run. But this is a mistake that could cost this young man quite a bit. And by the way, could have cost others a whole lot more. He was in a rented Lamborghini. I'm going to guess, I'll find this for you, but I'm going to guess Rashee Rice didn't make that much money. I mean, he made nice money, but he was a rookie. What was he, a second-round pick? I'm going to guess that there's not a ton of money for him. Yeah. 4 year. Well, he signed for 4 years, $6 million, but he didn't get it all. He had a signing bonus of $1.7 million, and he had 3.5 guaranteed, an average salary of 1.6. So if he got his guarantee and his signing bonus, he's got about $5 million. It's good gelt, JJ, but I don't know if that's enough to get him through this and have him feeling good about himself. It's something. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk portal. We're going to talk college basketball. We're going to probably talk Purdue. Don't you think? How good is UConn? Historical perspective on the national championship that we just saw won on Monday night in Phoenix. Jerry Palm, our next guest, was there. He, of course, CBS Sports. He is a Purdue alum. And we're going to wrap up conversations with CBS Sports' Jerry Palm. His historical perspective on UConn. How good is Zach Edey? Looking forward to wrapping up college basketball with him. Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
If New Mexico spring
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. I can show that you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated,
Rip, plaster,
destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated,
Rip, plaster,
destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
The Terminator answered.
We gave him the right number, man. So that could be him right there. All right, but UConn wins back-to-back championships, and it's a dominant run, and it's their sixth title. So where is this? The first repeat championship since 2006-07. That was Florida, and they've been as good as anybody. But the final in Arizona the other night was 75-60. Connecticut was the winner. Is it just ringing? Is that the deal? And no one's there? It's frustrating. All right. Call drops after 2 rings, he said. I don't even know what to do anymore. All right. Here, talk for a minute.
Well, there's not much we can do. Phones are not working either way right now, so we're going to have to pretend to be Jared Palm. And look back at a fantastic weekend in UConn and what they were able to do. And, Dan Hurley moving forward is going to be fascinating because what he was able to do is he did retain a lot of players from that team last year. He's going to do work in the transfer portal. We know that they're still going to get some big time recruits, and the chase is on because now everyone has to run down UConn because UConn, they're the team.
And they're going to be the team, and he's going to continue to recruit. When you got something going like this, people are going to want to continue to be there, and they're going to want to be part of what you do. Let me see if I can answer this. This is Terry. It's a tough question for Jerry. All right, I'll ask him. Big Ten last won a championship in 2001. Michigan State. Where does he rank the conference overall? You got a lot of Final Fours in that span. What's the best basketball conference right now? Is it the Big East? They only got 3 teams in. But they won. They've won 2 years in a row. I don't think you judge it by how many teams you get in. I mean, the Big 12 is really good. The SEC obviously is really good. The Big 10 is really good.
I think you have the balance of teams you got in because that goes directly to how good your conference was overall because that's a major factor.
Yeah, but I think the Big East probably got slighted. Don't you? I mean, the conversation would be then at whose expense, and they won the NIT. Mm-hmm. The SEC is really, really good. They had a Final Four team in Alabama. Kentucky is going to continue to be really, really good. I thought Mississippi State and Auburn were really, really good. Tennessee obviously was good. The SEC, Big Ten. What about the Big 12 though? And do you look at it as currently constructed, or do you look at it going forward? Because Arizona's going to the Big 12. So if you add Arizona to the Big 12 and say, okay, they've got Kansas, who I believe is going to be back, right? And Houston, who probably, is it fair to say who knocked Houston out? Would
Duke?
The Jamal Shead injury to me was the biggest injury of the tournament. Do you disagree with that?
No, that was the biggest player
who got hurt right
during the tournament,
and it directly impacted what they did. He's the guy who I had second on my ballot for Naismith. I mean, I had him as the runner-up player of the year. Now others had it differently, and that's fine. But Houston goes out to Duke in the Sweet 16 round, and they would have ended up playing. Who, Marquette? Was that who came through next?
No, it was North Carolina State.
Oh, North Carolina State. That's where North Carolina State came up.
Yeah, I think if you're just looking at conferences overall in the moment, I would say
the Big 12 is good.
Big 12, Big 10.
Because you're going to say Houston, Iowa State, Baylor, Arizona, BYU is in everybody's next year's preseason top 20, or way too early. Kansas, Texas. Oklahoma's coming back, aren't they?
And this is one where, how much you want to weigh? Do you want to weigh on a full season body of work and give more credit to the teams that got in? Or do you want to look at the teams that went on the run? Because they didn't get a whole lot of teams in, but the ACC sure did some work too.
Well, and the Big East did pretty nice, considering they only got 3 teams in. I mean, UConn, Marquette, and Creighton all were pretty good, weren't they? And then Seton Hall went out and won the NIT, and St. John's is good. Yeah. And the ACC is going to be fine. Like, the ACC is going to continue to be really, really good. People are, well, I don't know about them. No. Look, Duke, Carolina. I'm not worried about Virginia long term. Clemson made an Elite 8 run. North Carolina State went to the Final Four. And by the way, North Carolina State finished 8, 9, 10. What, it was 11th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. North Carolina State finished 10th in the ACC, went to the Final Four. Do you know what North Carolina State's record in their league was? Do you know what their ACC record was?
2 games below 500?
9-11. They were 9-11 in their league and went to the Final Four.
It's the beauty of one and done.
But I think so too. So do you buy into the argument, oh, the tournament's great, but it's not the best way to determine a national champion?
No, because if
thank you.
The people that say that argument, then they need to embrace eliminating playoffs overall.
Thank you.
And just play an even number of regular season games to determine a champion.
Yep.
But you can't do that when you have 300 Division I teams.
Yeah, you want to play. So, well, what they would do is eliminate every.
Yeah, they just get rid of all the mid-majors.
That's right. That's right.
We're already seeing that with You see the Fox tournament?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Now
going to be
in
there,
the postseason
but
where
it's basically their leagues.
It's what is it?
Big East,
Big East, Big Ten, and like ACC.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, the below 500 teams that don't get into the NCAA tournament, you can go play this postseason.
Yep. They think it's going to
outside
compete
of
with the NIT. Yeah. 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 And that would be the argument there. So if they don't want one game, I don't know if they'd want 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5s, whatever. But you couldn't do that with 355 teams, and you put 68 teams in the tournament now. So you would get rid of all the mid-majors and only play the power, I guess it would be 5 when Pac-12 goes away.
The Super League stuff's right around the corner.
It's scary.
Everyone's already talking about it.
Yep.
That's where football's going.
Yep. And the New Mexicos and the San Diego States, the Colorado States and the New Mexico States, and you should be nervous because there's a lot of Super League talk right now. And I just, because it's the people who have the power just want to get more powerful. And I don't think it's best overall. I don't even think it's what the majority of people want. I could be wrong with that.
I don't know how you could look at the NCAA tournament and be sitting there, in the SEC, Big Ten country. Yeah, you're raking in all the money. The good teams, the high-seeded teams, the power conference teams, they get through, and they win these tournaments. I don't know how you could be sitting there going, you know what? The best thing for this sport, which has already generated billions of dollars, is actually less access for everyone and more of us.
Yeah. Well, but the argument would be, well, see, our 9-11 team went to the Final Four, so just think what our 6-14 Miami team could have done. They're better than St. Peter's. They're better than Boise State. They're better than Western Kentucky. Are they? Put them in. More of us. Because we have 18 teams in our league, and they should all be in. That's the argument. Yeah, this is a great way to determine a champion. It's the postseason. The team who is the best team in the regular season doesn't always win. Now, this year they did. Both men and women, by the way. How do you feel about that, for that argument? Both the men and women, the team who were the number 1 overall seeds, won their tournament. They got through. Well, it doesn't always happen that way. You're right, dude. And it shouldn't, because otherwise, why play it? And I go back to that year that the Giants beat the Patriots when the Patriots were undefeated. The Patriots were the better team all year. They weren't the champions that year.
I think it is after UConn, I believe 27 of the last 45 teams went into the tournament number 1 seeds.
They were. Okay.
So it's kind of like people that...
Plays out.
Yeah, and it's just, all it is, it's hoarding more money.
Yep. It all plays out. It does. The Chiefs were the 3rd seed this year, or the 4th seed in the AFC, and they won the Super Bowl. Are we having a conversation? Were they the best team, or should it have been who's the 1 seed in the AFC? Baltimore. Who's the 1 seed in the NFC? San Francisco. I think it was, right. But should Baltimore have been in the Super Bowl instead of the Chiefs? Some of you are saying, hell yes, they should have been. All right, 505-246-0610. I'm not sure we're going to be able to talk to Clint Hurdle today. We'll attempt it, and we do have players on the golf course. I'll get you going as we have the Masters underway. You can email. I believe you can still email and text and participate that way. 505-246-0610. That is the text line. That is still working. Email machine is working. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. International Protective Service has taken security to a whole new level, like literally a whole new level. For 18 years, IPS has offered standing guards, 24-hour patrols to protect homes and businesses in Albuquerque and just recently launched in Santa Fe. But now IPS Global Aviation is using a fleet of drones with high-definition cameras and analytics software to exceed all security expectations. So with the drones, IPS can monitor your next event or track emergency response. They can follow criminal activity that you cannot see as well from the ground. And the drones include thermal imaging. So IPS can help with eyes in the sky during wildfire season. It's unmatched ability to watch from the air. On the ground, IPS continues to use highly trained armed officers to watch homes and businesses. They install cameras. They monitor those cameras around the clock, and that deters criminal activity around your property. They even offer personal bodyguards. So if you have a threat to your safety, IPS will take care of you. Security issue, IPS has you covered. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at Global.com, IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. I can show that you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the minutes. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. I can show that you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the minutes. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. I can show that you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the minutes. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Has played the first hole. They have all made par. Eric Van Rooyen, Jake Knapp, Taylor Moore. We are underway at the Masters. A delayed start this morning because of the inclement weather.
Did it rain?
Did it rain when? Like
was it just
morning?
I know they were expecting gust 40, 45. Did it get some precipitation?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it rained. Yeah.
So you got to attack the soft course while you can.
There you go. Go get it when you can. Yeah, go get it. All right. 505-246-0610 is not working. It is working as a text line. You can send us texts at 505-246-0610, which really kind of, I apologize. We had Ann Liguori. We're going to talk to her from the Masters today, and, of course, Jerry Palm, and then former Rockies manager Clint Hurdle, who's a special assistant to the general manager of the Rockies, was due at 9, and we're having issues all throughout the building, I guess. So we're not going to be able to do it. Lobo Hobo wants to know, how does Cumulus have so many phone problems? Jeff, something that important, you have to not only have a more reliable primary provider, but backup systems in place. Yeah, we do have backup systems in place, but I guess they're down too. Yeah, I did. I apologize, man. I don't know. It's a bummer, and I apologize. Richard says, good news for JJ's organization, ? Jeff, Hartford's 3-0. They've given up only 4 points, so it looks like help on defense may be on the way for the Isotopes. Okay. Hartford's always pretty good, right?
I think it's kind of overblown. The Hartford's always pretty good.
All right.
Second half comeback We're focused on the second half of the season for the Isotopes.
All right. Dude, this is...
I did learn, though, Jeff, yesterday, Pedro Lopez, manager of the Isotopes, was floored and really enjoyed that he was given a Thunder Cup.
Okay.
He loved it.
All right. I want to get into that. This is breaking news. This is pretty big. O.J. Simpson has died. 76 years old. He's been battling cancer, and it's being reported on ABC and all over the place now. O.J. Simpson has died this morning. The former football great who, I mean, remember him how you need to, accused of ultimately acquitted of the 1994 murders of his ex-wife and her friend. His family said that he has passed away. This is a family release quote on April 10th. Our father, Orenthal James Simpson, succumbed to his battle with cancer. He was surrounded by his children and grandchildren during this time of transition. His family asks that you please respect their wishes for privacy and grace. O.J. Simpson, dead at the age of 76. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Hour.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. I can show that you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the minutes. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called.
Apologize. The opening drive on a Masters Thursday. They are off and running at Augusta National. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Breaking news this morning. It just came down a short while ago. O.J. Simpson has passed away. How will you remember O.J.? The first thing you will remember, and I think this is easy, right? You're going to have to be of a certain age to go back far enough to remember O.J. as the Heisman Trophy winner. And if you are of that age, if you are, I guess you got to be north of about 65, right? To remember O.J. as a USC Trojan, as a Buffalo Bill, even if you're of that age, O.J. Simpson, you just think of the trial, right? And yes. you're younger than the age of the trial, aren't you? Like, you don't remember the trial.
I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
In 1994.
But you've seen it enough.
But as I learned who O.J. Simpson was, you learn that stuff before you realize he was a fantastic football player.
He was an unbelievable football player, by the way.
Yeah. And he was one of the oddest figures around.
Oddest is a really interesting word for that.
Who gets acquitted of murder and then writes a book about what he would have done.
And then did jail time for what he did his jail time for. He busted into, not even allegedly, he did it. Him and his guys busted into a hotel room in Vegas to steal back stuff that he claims was his memorabilia that was stolen from him. So he went in with his guys and that's what he did his time for, not the alleged murder of his wife and her friend. But I want you to, this is one of the most, and I'm trying to find the right word, and I think unique might be it, but unique almost gives it too kind of a connotation. And I know I'm supposed to make my living with words, and I'm trying to think of how to put this, because JJ, he was, before he was accused of murder, he was one of the first African-American athletes / celebrities who kind of crossed over and was accepted into mainstream, what at that point was white dominated television. And he was one of the first African-American athletes to do national endorsements in like his Hertz commercials. Have you ever seen those? Him running through the airport? If you Google O.J. Simpson and Hertz, the rental car, they were like iconic. O.J. Simpson running through the airport, jumping over stuff in the airport, and it was, that's what he was known for. And many people, that's what they knew of O.J. Simpson. And you go through, if you just go through, and you're going to hear it now over the next couple of days as people chronicle the life of O.J. Simpson. It is one of the most, and I don't even know if unique is the right word, JJ. He came up at SC, was a Heisman winner with this personality. He was called out by many for not being black enough. And Adrian, I appreciate you finding it. Adrian's showing it right now on our ProView networks, if you're watching the simulcast. But there's the old Hearst commercial. And great work, Adrian. But JJ, he was called out for not being, I'm using air quotes, black enough by some in his community. And he was one of the first to just go mainstream, and then he was on national television, and he was accepted and loved and liked, and he was an unbelievable football player. And then he goes through everything that he went through in the 90s with the trial. And then it's insane. It really is. He was in 1969, the number one pick of the NFL draft. He had the first 2,000-yard rushing season with the Buffalo Bills. But he was an unbelievable player, too. You'll remember him not for being a Bill, but for being in a Bronco, right?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
Being in a white Bronco.
Yeah. You're not going to remember him for wearing a white Bills jersey. You're going to remember him for being in a white Bronco with Al Cowlings, his buddy. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of, I don't know. I don't even know how to feel that O.J. Simpson died. You know what I mean? Is that weird?
No, because the life that he lived was everything you just broke down. Initially, you start with, like, should this be one of the best running backs ever you talk about? Yes, but then from 1994 on, was that who he really was? Possible.
It's crazy. You know, when I was at SC when was I at USC at Heritage Hall? Last summer? I believe it was. Yeah, it was in July. And remember I showed you the pictures of Heritage Hall when they have all the Heisman trophies out there? And there was that one empty stand, and I'm like, oh, is that going to be? Oh, no, it was the one empty stand is for Reggie Bush, but OJ's is still there. And again, why would you take away his Heisman? He won it. You take away a guy's Heisman for being an alleged murderer who was acquitted? You don't, right? You take it away because the guy's parents got a place to live, but not because he was an alleged murderer or did time for robbery. It's one of the most bizarre, twisting, winding lives. I don't know if interesting is the right word, unique. Bizarre, though. Do we work with bizarre?
Bizarre.
Yeah. He stayed in Vegas, and that's where he lived. But O.J. Simpson died this morning. He was battling cancer. He's 76 years old. And I mean, I love your thoughts. This is one of those days where, man, I just wish we could open up the phones, but we can't. But please text and send emails, because I'd love your thoughts on passing of OJ. 505-246-0610 is the text line, and emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Sid is in. He says, R.I.P. my guy, O.J. Simpson. Mr. Symbieta, obviously 2,000 yards in a 14-game 1973 NFL season is at the top of the list, but he was social media before social media existed. He was everywhere on TV, back when being on TV mattered, because everyone watched the same 4 channels. It's from Sid. I don't think that's wrong. I that's it. Yeah. Text line, O.J. Simpson pass from Cancer Stephanie. Yes, thank you. Must be before I said it. Terry says, O.J. watched him in college, and the Bills, their coach wanted him to be a flanker. Huh? Look, man, coaches aren't always right. Sometimes they are. You know why Marshall Faulk went to San Diego State? He's from Louisiana. You know why he went to San Diego State?
They let him play running back?
The only place that would recruit him to play running back. Everybody else was going to change. He was too small. We were going to turn him into a defensive back. He thought he was a good running back, so he went to San Diego State. I don't know. How'd that work out?
Think he made the right choice.
Hall of Fame career. Sometimes they want to make O.J. Simpson a flanker. No, keep him as a running back. I think that was a pretty good choice. I mean, sometimes you got to hold out and believe in what you want. All right, so that's there, and it's for you, and jump in if you'd like. But O.J. Simpson passed away, and I'll continue because the audience will continue to turn over. But I'd love your thoughts. Text them or email because the phones are down. 505-246-0610 is the text line, and emails Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ, this one grabbed my attention because I think the majority of people are going to say it's not just pigeonholed into the category that is. Jared Goff is the quarterback of the Detroit Lions. And he said the Detroit media, quote, almost relish in negativity. And I think there's a majority of people who would say, well, that's what all media does, right? He was talking on a podcast called Trading Cards with Robbie McInerney. It's his former teammate at Cal, Robbie McInerney. And Goff said, I have this, like, I probably need to drop it pretty soon here because I'm hopefully going to be in Detroit for a long time, but I have this thing with our local media where they almost relish in negativity at times. And maybe that's what gets clicks and that's what sells, but it's no longer what they need to live in. Like, hey guys, we have a good team. We've had success. We can be happy about that. We can celebrate that and not have to write about how we're consistently the underdog. No teams are going to be gunning for us. No, teams are going to be gunning for us now. We won the division all. I'm probably overthinking it in my head, and it's the chip on my shoulder and the competitor in me, end quote. Can that be any guy in any town?
Yeah, that's not just the Detroit Lions thing. That's a sports thing overall. That's a fan thing. When you can come out and when you can say someone's terrible and they suck and that was a complete failure, that's what gets people going. Our phones, our mentions are much more active after a Lobo loss than a Lobo victory.
No doubt. People
just, all right, you win, that's cool. And if you can't say someone sucks or someone's a failure, it doesn't get the people going.
Yeah, and that's such a bad take. I guess it kind of came after he was describing this exchange he had with a media member, a Detroit media person. And it went viral because he was asked before they played the 49ers in the championship game, the NFC championship game. This media member asked Jared Goff about what that person perceived to be a talent gap between the Niners and the Lions. Basically, you guys are they got so much more talent. How do you win? And Goff said, quote, I wasn't trying to be rude to the guy. I was just like, that's our own beat reporter that's been with us for 3 years. You haven't been in San Francisco. You know what our team looks like. Why do we got to talk about how good their players are? Talk about how good our players are. That's like how I felt. He says like a lot. He says, are we like privileged to play this game because they have a bunch of good players? He was talking about the 49ers. Like, is that what you're saying? So I was like, okay, St. Brown was first team All-Pro. Penei Sewell was first team All-Pro. Frank Ragnow, like Sam Laporta, you want me to keep going? I know they have a lot of good players. So do we. I know they're really good. So are we, end quote. And again, I get it from his point of view. I so totally get it. And I don't know if the Detroit media has gotten into this rut, and I don't know if this is a new person or I don't know. But when you cover a team that's bad for so long, I guess you're always going to look at the other guys, like in San Francisco in this case, as being better because you've been horrible for so long. You've always been the underdog. I totally understand where he's coming from on this. But when I'm hearing this, I'm hearing this is any dude in any town. Is the media too negative? Because I tell you, yes. I firmly believe, and I've told you over the years, man, there's been times that I've been embarrassed, not just by local media, but by national media, some of the questions they ask.
Well, it's right up their alley that they got to watch their team blow a 24-7 lead.
So then
lose to the 49ers.
Yeah.
What an NFC championship game that was.
Yeah. He was asked about the trade, by the way, from the Rams to Detroit. He said, in hindsight, it's the greatest thing that ever happened to me for my career, my development as a human. I like Jared Goff. I really do. And I don't have a problem with him saying what he's saying. Now, it probably will not help his relationship with the local media, and I don't know that at this point he gives a damn. I think he's established himself as the guy. They can write whatever the hell they want, but he's the quarterback that got them to the NFC Championship game and nobody else has, right? He's the guy that's been
he was a throwaway piece.
He was
Jared Goff.
Yes.
We still don't talk about Jared Goff
yes.
in the top 10 or 12 conversation.
Yes.
And if the quarterback that's led one team to a Super Bowl, another team to an NFC Championship game, is the definition of
yes,
good quarterback, build around him, really good things can happen.
Are there like 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the NFL that you would absolutely say, I'll take a set of Goff, and then the rest of them you're like, I mean, you'd say Josh Allen, but you wouldn't say Tua. I don't even know if you'd say Aaron Rodgers at this point. You'd say Lamar and Joe Burrow, but you wouldn't say anybody else in that division. You'd maybe say C.J. Stroud, but I don't know that you would. I don't know that you'd say Trevor Lawrence anymore. Maybe. You'd say Patrick Mahomes, and you'd say your guy Herbert. After that, would you absolutely say him over Stafford? I don't know that you would. Would you absolutely say, I mean, who? Kirk Cousins? No. Dak Prescott? No. I mean, there's like 5 or 6 guys. Jalen Hurts, maybe. There's like 5 or 6 or 7 dudes that you say, yeah, I'll take him over Goff. And after that, you're going,
Jared Goff is what so many teams are looking for. It's what
that's right.
The Minnesota Vikings hoped Kirk Cousins was. It's what the Falcons are guaranteeing him $100 million coming off an Achilles injury, banking on Cousins being Jared Goff.
No doubt. All right, 505-246-0610. That is our text line. Phones are down. So please, if you want to get in, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the text line or the emails. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. O.J. Simpson passed away this morning at age 76. Your thoughts on that? And I'll update you on the Masters next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610 Sports Animal.
Travis Kelce's girl.
To make a difference in the life of a child.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, refractive lens exchange. the latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Sports Animal.
All right, a lot of breaking news on this Thursday morning as the Masters is underway. Delayed start. O.J. Simpson passed away this morning at the age of 76. He has been battling cancer. We got a lot of response to that. Again, our phones are down, but we're taking texts at 505-246-0610 and emails jeff@sportsanimалabq.com or jj@sportsanimалabq.com. And this came down about 14 minutes ago. The reports are Scott Drew, the Baylor coach, who has been considering an offer from Kentucky to be their head coach, has turned down the offer, which was said to be lucrative, to be the new coach at Kentucky. They're saying their NIL pool is about $6 million. That's it. I guess this has been going on for about a day. There was a TV station in Central Texas who had pictures of Scott Drew and his family getting off of the charter that came back from Lexington and landed in Waco last night. And so they have been turned down evidently by Nate Oates, Dan Hurley. Billy Donovan says he's staying with the Bulls in the NBA.
He's got a bigger salary cap.
Okay. Who's next? Is it Rick Pitino? Is that who they go after next?
Yes.
Does Rick Pitino... Well, first of all, Rick Pitino's 70 what years old? 72, if I'm not mistaken? Which again, I don't think he's too old to coach. I don't know, man. Look, and Rick Pitino's been everywhere, including there. And does he go back and they try to? I don't know. But the longer this goes, man, and you know those people who think that they are the bluest of the blue.
Oh, they thought they were getting
whoever the hell
John
they wanted.
Calipari, peace out. We're getting the number one target to come to Kentucky.
No doubt. Whoever I want is coming here. Yep. All right, Masters is underway. It was a delayed start. They had weather this morning. So just got started. You got a few guys at -1. Danny Willett, Taylor Moore, Jake Knapp, and Eric Van Rooyen are all -1. Gary Woodland just went, is on the tee now. He's going now. Luke Liss has bogeyed the first hole. So a couple of you guys, whoever you got, but they're just getting started out there. 68 degrees now and gusts of 12 miles an hour. So it's relatively decent now. Carl said it's a shame OJ passed before he got to see the Bills wear that championship belt, Jeffy. You get the feeling the window is closed with this generation of dudes. I'm not on that the Bills window is closed, by the way. Are you?
No.
I'm just not. This is an interesting one. Lobo Hobo. OD flags at half-mast today in remembrance of the fallen O.J. Simpson. Was O.J. the first real sports superstar? No. I mean, I would tell you probably you go back to DiMaggio, like Mr. Coffee and some of the stuff back. But as TV and media grew in the 60s and 70s, he was as big as there was. Ali, maybe, but he probably did more endorsements than Ali. I'm trying to go back into those days and who was everywhere, like, you know, where you see Peyton Manning or Caitlin Clark. He was one of the first, though. I mean, and certainly one of the first non-white superstars in American sports who was accepted on a basis that wasn't very accepting at the time. Jeffrey sent me a text that suburban celebrity actor / athlete, one of the first, quote, colorless, end quote, athlete celebrities and actors, and sadly, from my perspective, murderer. Ali was also a transcendent celebrity and athlete. Yeah. You've got to be of an age to remember OJ in a commercial or OJ on television. You got to remember him before 1994, what he was, because if you didn't experience that firsthand, JJ, all you know is this guy was in court, and if the glove don't fit, you must have quit, right? I mean, look, man, the glove don't fit.
But then let me tell you how I would have done it and buy my book.
Yes. What? Look, man, you can't write that mess. No, I know. It's pretty amazing. That's what I'm saying. The whole story, the whole life, from where he came, won the Heisman Trophy, was as good as we'd seen him and Jim Brown. I think people would believe are the two best running backs pre-2000 in the history of the game, right? And then what he became, yes. The whole thing is just bonkers. But O.J. Simpson has passed away. What do you got?
So coming up next.
Yeah.
It's not shocking, but it's news that will make Lobo basketball fan feel better.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. I will come back. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here, and I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. I can show that you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the minutes. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Sports Animal.
All right, O.J. Simpson passed away this morning. He was 76 years old. That's breaking. Scott Drew, the Baylor coach, has turned down Kentucky to be their head coach. Got some texts coming in this morning, 505-246-0610 on O.J. Phone lines are down, so hit us on the text, 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ?
Well, you know, it's news when John Rothstein tweets about it.
Because he's never wrong, right?
Because he's texting everyone.
It's kind of Adam Schefter.
He's pestering the coaches. He's in their GMs and phones all the time. But this is one that I don't think it was on a lot of people's radar. It was just assumed. But
I don't know if it was assumed. Do you think it was?
I think so.
Okay.
But official, according to one of the main college basketball folks. John Rothstein tweeted, Nelly Jr. Joseph tells me that he will return to New Mexico next season and use his additional year of eligibility.
It's a big deal. Yeah, so that's good for Lobo basketball, and you'd like to believe that there's a trend. It's certainly, they're all talking to each other. The players are, and I don't think that guarantees anything. But I think it's a good sign as you start to think, okay, Nelly's back, and what about Dent and Toppin, and as you go down the line, right? So I think that's encouraging, don't you?
Absolutely.
All right, Lobo fan, how you feel about that? So John Rothstein is reporting, and Rothstein is a national. What would you say? One of the more respected national college basketball voices.
Yes, he is.
All right. So he is reporting that Nelly Jr. Joseph will be back and he'll use his last year of eligibility. So that's good news for Lobo basketball. And again, I say assuming it's right. I don't know. I don't have any reason to assume that it wouldn't be if he's out there and he's reporting that. So good stuff there. 505-246-0610. Again, that's the text line today. Our phone lines are down, and I apologize, but that's how to get to us. You're on the text line like this. On OJ. Wasn't O.J. Simpson in the airplane movies? Yes. This one says, O.J. was originally set to sign with Arizona State. He was at the airport on his way to Phoenix and went to the bathroom. The USC coaches stole him out of the bathroom and took him to L.A. where he signed with the Trojans. I've never heard that story. I don't know if it's true. I don't have a reason to believe it's not. I just never heard it. Had you?
I have not.
Here you go, young man. May I meet you in the bathroom? Let me shake your hand. We're good? Fist bump? Okay. Here, come on this plane to Los Angeles. And sign
it's probably because what did they exchange in the bathroom? Probably a duffel bag full of money.
NIL money back in the day. Yeah. This one, different phone number, says, never forget doing hurdles in the airport on the Hertz commercials, but I guess we will never know who the real killer was. Okay. Another number. This one's from John. Good morning. OJ should have won an Oscar for Nordberg in The Naked Gun. That's what it was. Naked Gun. Not airport. I'm liking Xander and Ricky this week, he says. Thank you. It's John. Everybody's going to remember for a different thing. Hey, what break am I on? Are we on the 9:30 break or the 9:40 break? I totally lost
9:40.
All right. I've totally, completely lost where I am. All right. So that's where we are. The Masters going on right now. You have 4 guys under par, including your guy, Bryson DeChambeau. He birdied number 1. Danny Willett, Taylor Moore, Eric Van Rooyen, all 1 under. Anybody in trouble early? Gary Woodland made double bogey on number 1. He is 2 over after 1. That's a tough start. Luke List is 1 over par. Some of your favorites, Tiger Woods doesn't go off until late this afternoon. Everything was pushed back today. They had a weather delay at Augusta. Tiger Woods will go off at 1:54 with Jason Day and Max Homa. There's that power group with Scheffler and Schauffele and those guys goes off.
What did Danny Willett? Is he a past winner?
Yeah, he won the Masters. English guy.
I always remember like Willett's one of those names where I try to slide in there.
Yep.
Figure he'll have a top 25 performance.
Yep, figure he'll refine it. Usually guys who play well at a course play well at a course, right? Rory goes off with Scheffler and Schauffele at 11-12. So there you go, and they're underway. All right, couple breaking news stories this morning. Boy, what a busy morning, huh? The Nelly Jr. Joseph news, I think, is a big, big deal. Certainly here, because, and again, I don't know that it starts a trend. It's a piece, man.
Yeah,
you have
kinda
a piece.
Like officially official, the way I used it. Like you were expecting him to come back, but sometimes you just never know. And I know there's some Lobo fans that are antsy because they haven't seen a post from UNM saying that they've gotten anyone out of the transfer portal. And they saw one from Boise State. They saw one from Nevada.
Boise State got the transfer from San Jose State. Alvaro Cardenas went from San Jose State to Boise State. I didn't see who Nevada get.
They picked up Kobe Sanders, 6'8" wing. Played at Cal Poly last year. All Big West honorable mention, averaged 19 points per game.
Guys like that tend to thrive in this league. You know, I mean, guys like that tend to thrive. He's a swing guy who played at a decent level in the Big West.
Playing at 19, 3-3.
That's a really good get for them. Who did they lose?
Lucas,
who did they lose to
Blackshear.
eligibility? They lose both of those guys? So he's got to find someone that's just going to take over and score. He's got Davidson coming back, right? I mean, theoretically.
And that's why even John Rothstein putting out that this morning, you're going to feel more comfortable as a Lobo fan. You're just kind of waiting on. It's almost like you have to have that instead of just assuming your team's coming back. It's just someone to tell you that the players are coming back. Like, oh, by the way, Donovan Dent's coming back. JT Toppin's coming back. But there's so many players out there in the portal.
Yesterday, like 1,425.
Yeah, like it's, as fans, you get antsy and you see teams posting about who they got, but there's so many players.
The thought of recruiting and going through the portal is got to be so daunting, right? Like who's in charge on your staff of sifting through the portal and not letting guys crawl through the cracks? Are you clicking on every dude? And what attracts you?
A lot of it, though, the first
it's going to be
thing is have you had contact?
100%. That's where I was going with that. Yeah.
Were they players that you recruited previously? Are you friends with a coach that they came from? Were you with them?
Yeah. Do I know them at all? Did I scout him last cycle? Did I see him in did we play against him? What's my familiarity?
Because I know just last year, with Nia Wilson, like, well, how'd you end up getting for UNM women's basketball guard from Syracuse? And it's because she actually, coming out of high school, just had a phone call with Mike Bradbury at one point in time.
Yeah, and so I think that's right. But by the same token, you can't completely rely on that because how many players are going to fall through the crack? Here's the number.
You almost have to scout every single one of them.
That's what I'm saying. And the number as of 20 hours ago went up 100 plus from a day ago. 1,547 basketball players are in the portal right now. And again, what's the number of teams? JJ, is it 355? Right? Is Division I teams. So if you divide 1,547 times or divided by 355, that's an average of 4.35 players per team in the portal. I mean, that's insanity. And to your point, there is no way to know all of them. And so your whole staff, like, what are they doing? Remember when there used to be an off season? There's no damn off season. Like, you are literally staring at tape or video all day trying to find what do we need? We need a swing guard. We need another big guy. Do you have a familiarity with this guy? Nobody played for this guy, and I know the coach at Evansville who had him at Wright State, whatever, right? You call him, hey, what do you know? Hey, can I get his number? Let me give him a call. Like, literally, it's relationship upon relationship upon relationship. But that's where this thing's going. As this number swells, and I would think it's almost harder in football, right? I need a left guard. Man, look at all the left guards in there. The guy from Arkansas State, is he any better than the guy from Arkansas? And how do I know him and how do I find him? I look at it and it's just so daunting right now. And you just, if you go into any of these portal sites and you start going through and how do I know this guy from that guy and the guy that's leaving Stetson that transferred to Oregon? Like, I mean, what? And the guy that left Boston College and he's going somewhere. And and then I think of places like New Mexico State, right? And he's got to be out there trying to kill it and we put together a roster, no? Again?
Yeah.
Man, it's insane to me. But how many guys are still undisclosed? Oregon's getting a lot of dudes. It's kind of interesting where they got guys from. But yeah, I'm fascinated just scrolling through the portal. Because to me, it's like watching a recruiting list, right? When we get a list of 25 guys for football signing day, and I'm like, okay. I mean, literally, that's what I'm looking at in the portal.
Yeah, I can only just imagine, like, Coach gets to go on vacation, but you're sending him probably clips and be like, oh, when you pop up on your iPad for 10 minutes, here's some players that we might contact.
And where are guys going from? I always want to see, like, a guy goes from Tennessee to St. John's. Okay. Iowa State to Rutgers. Okay. Southern Miss to Arkansas.
I know the Alabama State pipeline's gone for Lobo football.
Right. Boise State to Seton Hall. It all fascinates me where they're going. And like DePaul just got dudes from that Jeremiah Oden from Wyoming. He went to DePaul. They got a player from Texas Tech, Minnesota, and South Carolina. Who's the new coach at DePaul? Who'd they hire? Because whatever he's doing, he's in the portal and he's getting dudes. I mean, a bunch of 6'8", 6'7", 6'6" swing guys, but he's getting dudes. Yeah, I don't know. The whole concept of it just fascinates me as we go through it. All right, wrap it up when we get back. Any more? And you've got a few more on O.J. Simpson, who passed away this morning at age 76. 505-246-0610. That's the text line. Send us text. Phones are down. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Murcia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here, and I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. I can show that you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the minutes. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spell, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part,
so that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
All right, getting you through a really busy Thursday morning. Our phone lines are down. I'm encouraging texts at 505-246-0610. Hopefully we'll get this fixed by tomorrow. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. On the email, HB said, "Where did you go, Joe DiMaggio?" Jeff, I would argue Ali was very divisive. And after Marilyn Monroe, Joe dropped out of sight. But O.J. remained as well known in 1994 as he was in 1973. So he was really the first that maybe got to be an even bigger star after his playing days ended. You might have a great argument here. You might not be wrong. O.J. Simpson dies this morning, 76 years old. He was battling cancer, so O.J. Simpson has passed away. This is such a good email, Jeff. So JJ, you can blame OJ or for a lot of things, whatever. You can blame him for the Kardashians too. Do you realize that? Rod says, Jefferson, a lot of folks don't realize OJ launched the Kardashians when Robert, the father, became a member of the Dream Team. He was one of the lawyers. That's the first public. That's where the Kardashians came. The dad was on the Dream Team. The lawyer who got him on. That's 100% right. Text line. We had a story that said O.J. was originally set to sign with Arizona State, someone told us. At the airport, he was on his way to Phoenix. He went to the bathroom, and the USC coaches stole him out of the bathroom and took him to L.A., where he signed with the Trojans. This one says, JJ, if the Arizona State-USC story is true on how O.J. wound up at SC, imagine if O.J. would have went to Arizona State. They may have had O.J. and Reggie Jackson on Arizona State's campus at the same time. It's true. It's true. Rudy sent me a text. I met Marcia Clark, who, along with Christopher Darden, prosecuted O.J. Simpson for the murders of Nicole Brown and Ronald Golden. She remarked about how that trial changed her life and millions of people's lives. It changed our perception of the criminal justice system. I think it did change a lot of people's perception of the criminal justice system. And a lot of people still tell you it just didn't work. Text line, Terry, watching the 1994 NBA Finals, Rockets and Knicks, and the Bronco chase with O.J. being shown in the bottom right of the screen was bizarre. JJ, this was, and again, I'm old enough that I remember that. And at that point, I was working TV up in Washington State. I'm trying to draw you a parallel, and I don't know that I have one, of who it would be like if you were watching, let's just say you were watching the Nuggets and who the Nuggets beat. Was it the Celtics in the final last year?
Beat the Heat.
The Heat. So you're watching the Nuggets and Heat. And that game's going on, and we're breaking in, and we're watching a slow, not even a police chase, a slow speed chase of give me some. I mean, who
does that? Patrick Ewing down low, the slam from Ewing, and
OJ's still on the 405.
OJ continues at
in Orange County,
constant speed. It's stolen by Greg Anthony.
OJ just spoke via Al Cowlings to authorities that, and OJ was as big as there was. I'm trying, like, it would be like a Peyton Manning kind of a right, someone like that, where someone not only was huge, but you just didn't expect it. Not that you would ever expect something like this, but right, one of the, I never thought it would be that guy, right? It was that big. Text line says one of the most celebrated and notorious athletes of our time. No. Yeah, all these are right, man. And that's what I'm asking for. I appreciate you sharing your recollections. And again, text line is open. Phone lines are down. 505-246-0610. O.J. Simpson passing. So when did you know about it until I said it on the air?
Yes.
All right. When you read,
it was just everyone was talking about it when I walked out.
All right. So when someone first said it, what'd you think?
Oh,
that was your initial. All right. Whatever. Yeah.
I know it's kind of callous, but it's like I don't know.
No, it is, and it's fair to be callous. This is one of those where, wow, how do you react to this one? A lot of times, I mean, people die. We're all going to die. Right? It's all, one day it's going to come in, I'm gone, you're gone, and we're all, yeah. But this one is, because it's so bizarre and so intertwined and so many, I mean, it's like 4 lives in one almost. You know what I mean? That college kid who was that pro, was that alleged murder, and it was the guy who went to prison afterwards for robbery and has been kind of living in Vegas, giving you crazy social media content. Hey, world, it's me, OJ. Right? You not seen his tweets, like his video that he's been tweeting out?
I've seen them. I haven't been following them.
Yeah, I haven't been following either. But I mean, there was that guy, that world. Yeah, it was one of the craziest stories. I mean, it's been documented well. But that happened this morning. All right, Masters underway. Late start. They had weather. They didn't tee off until 8:30. Danny Willett and Eric Van Rooyen are 2 under par. Van Rooyen is on the 7th hole, Willett on the 4th. 3 others under par: Taylor Moore, an amateur named Christo Lamprecht, and Bryson DeChambeau. Guys that are in trouble early. +2, Austin Eckrat, Charles Schwartzel, and Gary Woodland. On the tee, from Spain, Sergio Garcia. That's where we are with that. So you can watch that all day. And Tiger goes late. So those late groups, JJ, probably are not going to finish today.
That's tough.
Because you're going to get up early tomorrow morning, play, and then turn around and play again. So for Tiger...
Not great for Tiger.
No, it's going to be... Now, not as much on the body today, but he's going to have to play 18 plus and maybe 24, 26 tomorrow.
That does not make me feel good about him making the cut.
I think I agree with that. Now, the only difference is, well, not really, because it's going to be a quick turnaround anyway, maybe even a quicker turnaround, huh? Because you figure they're going to finish when it's dark. So he's going to literally have to go back, get treatment, eat, go to bed, and get up at the crack of dawn and be one of the first ones off right when the light goes off. Yeah, right when it's light enough. Yeah, that's going to be tough. And I'm going to imagine a little chilly in the morning. I'm not cold, but imagine a little chilly. All right, other stuff that you got to know as you go through your day. Scott Drew, the Baylor coach in basketball, has said no to Kentucky. Evidently, he was offered the job, and the reports this morning are he has said, no, I don't want the job. I'm going to stay here at Baylor. Ohtani's interpreter, Ipe Mazuhara, is negotiating a guilty plea for theft in the gambling scandal, and the investigation basically saying, yep, nothing to see here anymore. Ohtani didn't know he was the victim of theft. His interpreter / personal assistant / good buddy stole all this money from him. And I mean, you're again, it's not implausible, but you are to believe that Ipe had total access to Ohtani's accounts and went in and took this money without Ohtani knowing. That Ohtani has so much money, he never really looked at his bank statements. And here, my guy, just take care of me. I trust you. You're my guy. you'd never do me bad. It's a really hard one to believe. It's plausible, but especially when they came out and said at first Ohtani was covering his boys' debts because these guys were going to snap his legs. Right? So Ippei goes to prison, maybe. I mean, I don't know. They're negotiating a plea deal.
Here's a cool thing to end the day with, too.
Yeah.
Bella Hines.
Yeah.
LSU commit.
El Dorado High School.
So they updated the 2025 rankings from ESPN Hoop Girls.
Okay.
She's now officially a 5-star recruit.
Is that because she went there?
No, they updated their rankings going in, to this summer and next year, and she's the 22nd ranked hooper in the country for 2025.
Congratulations.
Pretty cool.
Sir.
5-star.
It's really cool. All right. Thanks to all the people who would have been on our show today. So assuming we have phones tomorrow, we're going to try Clint Hurdle tomorrow.
That's the plan.
I don't even know what to do anymore. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Coward's after that. 2 Men On will be here at 4 o'clock. Isotopes baseball against Sugarland. How sweet that will be. At whatever time they go on the air. 6:15, I think? All right. Great work, man. I know it was tough back there. Good job. Big day for you?
Huge day.
All right. Enjoy it. Adrian, great stuff, man. Pulling up the OJ stuff and the commercials and everything we talked about. It looks so good on ProView Networks. If you get a chance to watch the show there, it's a great way to consume it. Be good to each other, please. We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio at 7 a.m. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
You in on this? Toyota's versatile SUVs roll up their sleeves.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here, and I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. I can show that you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the minutes. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here, and I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. I can show that you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the minutes. Touchdown and pay you a visit.